want to give a huge shout out and a thank you to my sponsor, P2 Collectibles, located at 204 East McGalliard Road in Muncie and on eBay as well. So next time you're here in Muncie, let us know. Come give us a visit. Hey, what is up, y'all? This is Alex from Plus3 TCG, and I'm coming at y'all with another deck profile. This time we are doing another deck that we don't necessarily have completed, but we have most of the cards. And without further ado, we're just going to take off with it. So we're obviously doing DDs. The main deck for the most part is pretty much the same. 3 Kepler. This is the card that we're really just trying to see all the time. We want to see this opening up because this gets you your contracts. Copernicus, because it's a Foolish Burial. Foolish Burial is at 1 for a reason, but you have 3 in this deck. Well, 4 including Foolish Burial. Getting to send any of the combo pieces that you don't have is very relevant. And then 1 Orthos, because this is your spot removal. Luckily, it is a searchable spot removal, which is irrelevant, considering this is a combo deck. 3 Ragnarock, a great extender, being able to summon back a monster from grave, and you do that multiple times in a turn. Just very good, very relevant. 2 Thomas, you brick a lot with this if you play it at 3, so 2 is good. You can have some plays with Ragnarock, but you kind of have to open Ragnarock with it, not open it or be able to search it, as well as open this to make this relevant, so that's why I only played it 2. 3 Swirl Slime, because this is the card you're also trying to see turn 1. A lot of these cards you want to see, it's just you have to see it in unison with something else. 3 Lamia, one of the best cards in the deck, because this is really what allows you to get into all of your synchro monsters. 3 Necro Slime, pretty good card. Can be a bit bricky opening up 2 of them, but you do want to see one of these. Like the 3 card combo is pretty relevant now, and it requires you to have one of these or one of these. I'm playing essentially 4 of the same card because this does the same thing as Necro Slime, except this one you have to activate it on the turn it was sent. So it's a little less relevant, but opening 1 of 4 is pretty good. So that's the DDDs, and the rest is all hand traps. So we're playing 2 Ash, wish I was playing 3 Ash, 2 Ghost Ogre, and 1 Max C to round it up 5 hand traps. Y'all know I love this lineup. On to the spells. 3 Contract with the Gate. This is a great card, being able to search DDs once per turn. Pretty relevant. Dark Contract with Swamp Kings. This is less relevant, but also very good. You are fusing with this card. 1 Foolish to send anything that you don't have. 1 for 1 to get you your Lamia or your Copernicus. Not Copernicus, Kepler. 1 Soul Charge for the blowout card. You don't want to use this turn 1. I mean, you can, but you're really overextending if you're using it turn 1. You're just trying to save this. Unless like you open up really bad and you have to use Soul Charge. And then the draw cards. 3 Desires and only 2 Allure. I like Desires a lot better than Allure because Desires banishes cards from deck and then you draw 2. This requires you to draw the cards, which they then become resources in your hand, and then if it's a resource that you needed, you might have to get rid of it, which, even though you're playing a lot of 3-ofs in the deck, I would just say that Desires is probably the better choice, but you do need to see your combo pieces, so that's why we're playing 5 draw cards. And then the 1 Searchable Out, spot removal, Dark Contract with the Witch. This is just a 1 for 1. You pitch a DD or you send a DD or a contract from your hand or field to the grave, and then you can pop a card, which is pretty good. That's the main deck. On to the extra, where the spice happens. Linkuriboh. Now we are getting this card. It's coming. We might not have it yet, but it's coming. So there's that. This is a part of the 3 card combo because you need to send your Kepler off the field and then summon Genghis under it, which then leads you into your CRYSTRON Needlefiber. This card is probably going to get the Denglong effect. It's probably going to get banned one day, but until that day, or until, well, we have to get it first. But until that day, we are going to abuse the crap out of this card because you can, when this card is link summon, you get to special summon a level 3 or lower tuner from your deck. in defense, but that's not relevant because it's immediately going away because you're summoning Lamia. This card just might as well just say summon Lamia. Well, or Glow Bulb, I guess. But you're really just trying to summon Lamia in this deck. And then on your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you can banish this card as cost and then special summon a level 2 Synchro. Well, it's a Synchro monster, but in this deck you're summoning a level 2 Synchro in the form of Formula Synchron, which then gives you more Synchro plays during your opponent's turn. And then another part of the 3-card combo is Deco Talker. You just summon this over in your opponent's extra zone, or like you summon on your side and then use up your 2 monster zones that Needlefiber points down to, and then you summon Deco Talker to the other side so that you can then access more zones, ending you with Crystal Wing, Siegfried, and well, I think you have to go into Siegfried, Genghis, and then you have to end with Crystal Wing because you have to summon the Siegfried to get the big Genghis's effect off, which we are playing one of, and we honestly don't know when we are getting this card. We might not ever get this card because it's a Shonen Jump promo over in Japan, but one day, or for the people who are playing DDs right now and don't mind playing with the OCG cards, testing online, this card is very good. If you didn't know, now you know. But you only need to play 1. I guess you can play 2 if you want, but if you're going into this a second time, you probably have a grindy game with DDs, but that's less than likely. And then playing 2 of the Genghis, this is what you're going into first. 1 Dark, you're hardly ever going into this, but the options are there. 1 Beowulf, this is relevant to go into like Kali Yuga or Titanic. And for the Synchros, we're playing Formula Synchron, like I said. 1 Alexander, no High King Alexander. 1 Siegfried. 1 Crystal Wing, 1 Omega, and then to wrap up for the Exes, we're playing Kali Yuga and Titanic. The extra deck space is very tight because you pretty much need to play all of these cards. Arguably, you don't need to play this, but if you're ever in a bad situation and you have like a Lamia and you can make this, at least that gets you to Omega or to Siegfried. So yeah, once we get these cards, like the Big Boy, Big Poppy Genghis, and then once we get Needlefiber and LINKURIBOH, this deck will be able to potentially be viable again if Spiral gets hit even more, because man, that deck is still really good. But until we get these cards, well, once we get these cards, it'll be great. But until then, we got to work with what we got, and we don't have these 3 cards in the extra deck just yet. But still a fun deck, and I can't wait to get those cards. Let me know what you think of the deck profile down in the comment section below, y'all. And this is Alex from +3 TCG signing out.